What is up, guys? It is January 26th, and this is going to be the CBDC Wednesday. So starting off, we got China, 87.5 billion won, which is like $13.68 billion worth of transactions had been made in 2021 using the Chinese digital yuan. So gearing up. You remember the Beijing Winter Olympics coming up. I believe it's around like February 2nd to the 22nd, or it's February 12th to the 21st. Keep note of that time frame because they're going, I believe they're going officially like full scale launch at that time at the Beijing Winter Olympics with their convertibility machine that would convert foreign currencies into the digital yuan without needing to have a bank account and just with your passport at the Beijing Olympics. Any visitor from all across the world can convert their local currency into the digital yuan without having a bank account there and just by having their passport. That technology, so they're going live on the world stage, Winter Olympics, and they're going to be pumping up their muscles, showing that they have the best technology and ways of transacting out there, and everybody in the world that goes there, they're going to share that experience. And so digital yuan, we got it right there. And then we see that the CBDC wallet tops mobile app store charts in China. So the pilot version of China's official digital yuan wallet app has become the most downloaded app in local mobile app stores. The most downloaded. There's so many people in China, and it is the most downloaded app. So things are gearing up hot right now. So the official digital yuan wallet app that was released as a pilot version to be used in select cities has still managed to top app store charts in its first week. So developed by the Digital Currency Research Institute of the People's Bank of China, the app became available for download on Chinese Android and Apple app stores last Tuesday. So the app is still in an experimental phase and is only accessible to select individuals through authorized providers. So while anyone in China can download the app, it's just still limited to those select cities in China that are piloting it. So the app enjoyed success on the mobile app store there, and it is the top of the chart. So look at it here. So after years of development, China started digital yuan pilots in April 2020 and has since become a pioneer in central bank digital currency development, to the point where the country plans to enable CBDC payments at the 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, scheduled for next month, February. Got to keep it on the radar. That's going to be huge. That's going to be like the turning moment, the watershed moment, where all these countries across the world really probably start to gear up and get serious with launching their central bank digital currencies. Because then it's like a race to who can get there first after China goes live with this. So the digital yuan even became a topic of debate for several United States senators who have signed a letter urging Olympic officials to forbid American athletes from using the digital yuan during the event. So they're forbidding Americans to use the digital yuan during that event at the Olympics. They're trying to get a drill or a signed letter urging the officials to forbid that. So I wonder why. Malaysia's central bank actively assessing CBDC options. So Malaysia's central bank recently completed a proof of concept for a central bank digital currency with 3 other nations, and it may consider developing its own cross-border payment system using the blockchain. So Malaysia has joined the growing cadre of nations that are exploring the value of researching and developing a central bank digital currency. Malaysia's central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, stated while a decision about exactly how to move forward with the CBDC has not yet been determined, it has focused research on a CBDC via proof of concept and experimentation to enhance our technical and policy capabilities. In 2021, Malaysia collaborated with South Africa, Australia, and Southeast Asian neighbor Singapore to develop a proof of concept CBDC pilot called Project Dunbar. So Project Dunbar utilized the Corda and Quorum blockchain platforms from R3 and Consensus. So I'm not going to go into a deep dive about R3 and Consensus right now, but just know R3, Corda, their platform, blockchain platform, utilizes XRP for Corda Cellular. It utilizes XDC for the on-chain settlement, and I believe it's XRP for the off-chain settlement through the Corda Cellular app. I believe that's the case. But nonetheless, XDC, XRP, R3, Corda. Then you got Quorum, JP Morgan's blockchain, and that is built with Consensus, parent company of Ethereum in the game. So respectively, to demonstrate various capabilities of blockchain-based cross-border remittances. And that is funny because that is exactly what Ripple's technology is set out to help: cross-border remittances. You can just see here that, look for articles in the past years, cross-border remittances. That is exactly what Ripple had said that they were seeking to solve. So right here, Al-Ansari Exchange taps RippleNet for cloud for remittances to enable cross-border remittances to Malaysia with Money Match. Funny. October 20th, 2021, Al-Ansari Exchange taps RippleNet Cloud to enable cross-border remittances to Malaysia and Money Match. So weren't we just reading about Malaysia's central bank so January 18, 2022, actively assessing CBDC options, developing a cross-border payment system, talking about remittances and helping that process out. Meanwhile, we look up cross-border remittances Ripple, and we have Malaysia right here with Money Match tapping into RippleNet Cloud to enable a cross-border remittance. Right here. So unimpeded by a SEC lawsuit, Ripple is set to supercharge, and they are supercharging into Southeast Asia's cross-border remittances. Right there. It's all in your eyes. So readers of these pages and the export of payment topics may recall a recent posting about blockchain and Ripple having success in Asia Pacific region with remittances using their blockchain network and XRP. So readers may also know that the US Ripple has some challenges with the SEC, but they agreed to still acquire a Malaysian company, and so they acquired a Malaysian company named Tranglo, which specializes in cross-border payments. So they're tapping into Malaysia by acquiring companies and utilizing and placing Ripple's tech and XRP at the forefront of these payment solutions, cement themselves as the standard. So the B2B challenge for decentralized cryptos with highly volatile floating foreign exchange is that corporates and banks shy away, given the regulatory scrutiny and risk. This is why stablecoins and now central bank digital currencies are getting adoption in blockchain scenarios. It does not seem to be a hindrance in APAC for these BDCs or PTPs transactions, however. So they get into it all right here. So we have the risks outweigh the benefits of a Swiss CBDC, says the SNB governing board member. This does not mean that SNB is not interested in central bank digital currency, but our focus is to look at the role that wholesale central bank digital currencies could play. So we remember that a retail central bank digital currency would be a central bank digital currency that's issued to us for the people to use directly, where we have a bank account theoretically with the Federal Reserve. For a wholesale central bank digital currency, it's more of like we're just going to transact the same way that we always have, where like PayPal or Venmo or Visa and all those credit card and bank providers that we use today, they'll be the same tomorrow, but on the back end of their systems, on the wholesale side, they'll be moving money through distributed ledger technology using a wholesale central bank digital currency, so it's on the back end. All you really know is that your money is coming in faster and it's available 24/7, and you can take out more, and it's more in your control where there's more options with it, rather than if it was directly just given to you as a central bank digital currency, you had a bank account with the Federal Reserve. I don't think that would bode well with a lot of people, and I think they started to catch on to that. So they say, hey, maybe we need to do this on the back end through a wholesale central bank digital currency, and we'll still effectively get the same result that we wanted, just less out in the open about it, right? So the governing board member said having the general public use a digital franc in day-to-day transactions would likely not help to promote financial inclusion in Switzerland, where almost all the working population already has access to bank accounts. So in that scenario, it doesn't really make sense if they have access to bank accounts, and those numbers are digital right there as well. So why not just tweak the back end of a system and use the wholesale settlement to get money cheaper and quicker and more cost efficiently to other people's accounts that way, and not totally redesign a payment system where you necessarily don't need to. So that's what they're kind of insinuating here, because then they go, this does not mean that SNB is not interested in central bank digital currency, but our focus is to look at the role that wholesale CBDC could play. Adding the central bank needed to consider privacy concerns and the potential for the digital currency to be used for illicit transactions. So the governing board member's statement comes following the SNB announcing it had integrated a wholesale CBDC into the banking systems in Switzerland. So they're already live. They're already in 5 commercial banks testing it out. They integrated it already. So at the time, it seemed to encourage the rollout. Central banks need to stay on top of technological change in an effort to ensure monetary and financial stability. So testing the introduction of a wholesale CBDC was part of the second phase of Project Helvetia, and an initiative pairing central banks for a distributed ledger technology-based tokenized financial assets. So during the fourth quarter of 2021, the SNB integrated the wholesale CBDC into the existing systems and processes of Citi, Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, and I can't pronounce that, and UBS. Ripple partner right there, known Ripple partner, known Ripple partner, and known Ripple partner. All right, moving on. So then we got UK Economic Affairs Committee unconvinced by prospect of retail central bank digital currency. So same story as what the Swiss board member said, right? Now we have the UK Committee Affairs and the board members there saying, hey, same thing. I don't think we need a retail central bank digital currency, but maybe we could go with a wholesale central bank digital currency. Wow, this is hilarious. Let's keep scrolling down here because I just saw something. But a new report highlights private sector innovation and greater financial inclusion with central bank digital currencies around the descending hegemony of the US dollar. The House of Lords Economic Affairs Committee, an investigative governing body representing the economic interests of the UK, has released an official report assessing the pertinence of a government-issued central bank digital currency. So titled Central Bank Digital Currency, a Solution in Search of a Problem, the 52-page publication covers an itinerary of areas in relation to domestic CBDC endeavors. So then it goes to talk about Andreessen Horowitz, big venture capitalist firm you need to pay attention to, the Blockchain Association, and Crypto UK submitted written appraisals, while the head of Visa Europe and Andrew Bailey, governor at the Bank of England, Ripple XRP, and Standard Chartered provided verbal accounts. The overwhelming conclusion of the report determined that there is no immediate need for the UK to strive for first mover advantage in the CBDC space, arguing that a number of questions and challenges are still prominent, including geopolitical influences, Meta's vast user network, and China's innovation in cybersecurity and what could become a vulnerable single point of failure, among others. While a CBDC may provide some advantages on speed of settlement and cheaper and faster cross-border payments, it would present significant challenges for financial stability and the protection of privacy. So speaking on China, the committee noted that progressions to compete with the traditional economic infrastructure could erode the US dollar's sanctions leverage, helping countries seeking to evade economic sanctions to bypass US dollar-denominated systems such as SWIFT. It also raised concerns that this could have wider consequences in the European market, specifically in terms of the strength and adoption of the British sterling and euro. So the UK would derive most long-term benefit by ensuring global standards and rules on governance, privacy, security, and interoperability are compatible with the national interests and values of the UK and its allies. So the Bank of England is expected to publish their findings later this year, having previously stated that a digital pound could be minted in virtual circulation in the second half of this decade. So just like the Federal Reserve, how they released their report, they gave it like 4 months for public to comment on it. Same thing going on here with the UK and with Sweden right here. Then we have the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, right at the top of the pyramid. General manager, central banks generate trust, not big techs or anonymous ledgers. So according to the boss of international institution owned by central banks, it is central banks that are best positioned to shape the future of money. So in a speech entitled Digital Currencies and the Soul of Money, the general manager of the BIS, head of the pyramid man, so criticized private stablecoins and decentralized finance, touting central bank-led financial innovation as the best path to the future of money. So he's saying right here, he's criticizing things such as like USD Tether or USDC or these decentralized finance platforms where we can lock up our crypto through like an automated blockchain computer network where we can lend our crypto or receive crypto and pay interest and have decentralized financial services with anybody across the world peer-to-peer. So he's saying he criticized that, and he touts a CBDC-led effort where the central bank is in charge with plotting the possible path to the future of money. He believes that to be the best case. So he served as the governor of Bank of Mexico between 2010 and 2017, and he gave remarks, data digitalization, the new finance and central bank digital currencies, the future of banking and money. Right there. Right there. So he's laying it out for us now. So to advance his point, he discussed 3 plausible scenarios of financial innovation. In addition to the global monetary system led by central banks, he envisioned a world where big tech-powered stablecoins are the dominant form of money, like Meta or Instagram or PayPal, and another where the bulk of financial activity is decentralized and runs on distributed ledgers. The stablecoin scenario, he maintained, is fraught with market power and data concentration at the hands of a few dominant private money issuers. National and global monetary systems would become fragmented, while the disintermediation of incumbent banks would threaten financial stability. So furthermore, he echoed that there is a lot of centralization in DeFi. He also cited scalability issues and liquidity mismatches as problematic aspects of DeFi. In the vision of the monetary future, the economists extolled central banks are at the core of the financial system, facilitating innovation such as building a global network of CBDCs. Because they are not profit-driven, central banks would act to advance the interests of the public, according to Carstens. Well, this isn't true, because we learned in the first mission, the first video of Agartha, that central bank, that the Federal Reserve is a private entity. It's not a government company. It's not a government agency, and it is not a non-profit. There's actual stockholders in the Federal Reserve. So when he comes and says here that they're not profit-driven and that they would act to advance the interests of the public, So these statements come as no surprise when voiced by the chief officer of an institution that is often called a bank for central banks. As Cointelegraph reported earlier, the BIS Innovation Arm is actively engaged in central bank digital currency trials, including the cross-border settlement initiative ran jointly by central banks of France and Switzerland. So a lot of stuff happening on all angles. Metaverse, NFT, we got central bank digital currencies. It's hard to keep up. It really is. So the Swiss National Bank integrated a wholesale CBDC into the banking systems of 5 commercial banks as part of the second phase of Project Helvetia. So they're moving forward. They're getting it done. And we know who's involved. And they're doing a wholesale central bank digital currency. So Iran's getting involved piloting a central bank digital currency soon, hinted at a possible CBDC pilot soon without elaborating on the time frame of the program. They're obviously going to do it around when everybody else is going to do it, and a lot of countries are going live this year. So you can look at the central bank digital currency tracker list here in the pictograph, and you can see that 16 are in development, 14 are in pilot, 9 launched, 41 in research. I remember looking at this probably in September, and there was like 2 launched, and like none in pilot, none in development, mostly in research. Things are moving fast, and I know you guys see it too. You can feel it. So that's it, guys. That is Central Bank Digital Currency Wednesday, and I'll see you in the market update.